And welcome back to Girl Talk. We're filming today at the Great Dane downtown. This is the East Doty location. Did you guys know this is the original Great Dane brew pub?
I did. I believe it. They started here and expanded out, right?
Yeah, yeah, several locations. We'll meet with those folks a little bit later. But right now, it's the new year. And if one of your resolutions is to have a calmer, clearer mind, listen up to our next guest. We're talking floatation therapy, and with us we have Maria Welch, the owner of the Float Factor. Thanks for joining us today, Maria.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's talk about the benefits of floatation therapy right away here.
Well, one of the biggest benefits that we see is really reduced stress and anxiety. People are so bombarded with sensory inputs and negative messages, and floating really provides a dedicated space for stillness, quiet, and really reconnecting with ourselves. And I think people are just hungry for that and for kind of just getting that inner peace back that they've lost.
Who can't use some of that, right?
It sounds wonderful.
It really does.
It almost kind of, it sort of forces you to have some quiet time, but it's relaxing and good for the body as well. So talk a little bit about, I'm sure all folks are thinking that sounds great. What can they expect when they come in?
Well, when you come in for your first appointment, we'll give you a tour of the space, kind of show you how everything works. We really focus on answering any questions that you might have. Floating is a little weird for people, you know, it's like, what am I getting myself into? So we want to make sure that you're relaxed and comfortable, that, you know, if you have questions before or after your float, we're there to answer those. We take you back to a private suite, so you have your own shower, you have all the stuff you need, your towels and shampoo, you don't have to bring anything with. The session itself is about an hour long. And then afterwards, we have a nice prep room where you can blow dry, and we have hair products, and then you can relax in our lounge for as long as you like. Have some tea.
Yes.
So we encourage people
we gotta go.
to just
that's right now.
So
after the show.
I know for me personally, I'm a little bit claustrophobic. For instance, elevators, I hate elevators. I avoid them at all costs. I have this fear that I'm gonna get stuck and that the walls are gonna close in on me. So am I gonna freak out if I come try this?
Well, this is one of probably the most common concerns that
Yeah.
people have when they see pictures of the float pods, but they've never seen one in person.
Yeah.
Most people, when they come in and actually see the pod, they go, wow, that's a lot bigger than I thought. They're really quite roomy, and you do have the option to keep the lid partly or completely open on the pod.
That's nice.
You know, a lot of football teams have these, so you can fit a very large person in them. We also have a float room, which if you would like an even more spacious environment, that has an 8-foot ceiling. It's got a big door on the front. So if you're closer to 7 feet tall, that might also be a good option.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I think you'll fit.
Yeah, I think I'll fit. Yeah, some
Lots of
different
room.
options though when you're starting. It sounds like that if you are a
Exactly.
little worried, you know, keep the top open. Then maybe as you get more comfortable, you can close the top.
Right.
It's a new concept for people, so I think sometimes the adaptation of it might take a little while, but probably after your first one, you feel pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
And this isn't a lot of water either, isn't it? Just how many inches is it usually?
It's only about this much water. It's
Yeah.
about 11 inches, and there's about 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt dissolved in there. So that's what keeps you buoyant in there.
So you can't sink.
You
It's
cannot sink.
impossible.
No, and that was for me. I mean, I do not float at all. And when I first floated, I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually float.
You can do it.
What an incredible
You
feeling.
and people fall asleep. I mean, it's kind of like it just cradles you in there. It's very unique and very different. Yeah.
Interesting.
So now that everyone's interested, how often are you recommending that people do this to get benefits?
It's really individual. We have members who float once or twice a week. We have others that float once or twice a month. We find that people who have a lot of issues with chronic pain or stress and anxiety will float more often because they're getting the wellness and health benefits from it. But we also have a lot of regular people who float who are doing it more for the spiritual benefits, and they're doing meditation while they're floating. It's a great place to expand any meditation practice that you have going. So
Yeah, that's what just kind of came to mind. If you meditate, what a great space to do that.
yes, absolutely.
Something
Boy,
good to try.
we're out of time already, Maria, and there's so many more things we wanted to run by you. So thank you, though, for coming in today. This is Maria Welch. She's with the Float Factor, and they're on Junction Road, and we're at the Great Dane. We'll be right back. You're watching Girl Talk.